We have literally just got in the door from the SuperLeague Arena Games, so I'm back home and I'm about to tell you all about it.
Charles-Barclay.
This is where the new special curved treadmill is going to go. We've just dismantled our little techno gym, so this one is going to be the one that we're actually using in the SuperLeague Triathlon. So we're going to actually be powering it ourselves, which is going to be requiring a new skill that we do not have. So basically we've got it here so we can practice on it. Although we're only going to be running like 1 kilometre at a time in the SuperLeague, it's going to be really important to make sure that we're going at a speed we can control and sustain for the 1 kilometre. So if we mess it up, you're just going to fall off because you've gone too quick, but also if you go too slow, you're just going to lose too much time on the other guys and girls and not do very well. We're lucky enough to have been given one from SuperLeague, so we can try it out before the Arena Games and have no excuses for being rubbish. So if we're rubbish, we can't blame it on them. It'll just be that we're not very good at running quick on a curved treadmill. So pretty excited to try it. Should be arriving literally any minute now. So yeah, we'll show you it once it arrives. Well, it looks pretty cool. I have been on one of these like once before, but what I've always found when I get on one of these treadmills is I get on and I'm just straight away instantly flat out sprinting and then have to stop because I've just got no control. So I think we're trying to establish there's probably going to be a position where you want to run on the treadmill to find the optimal speed and control at running at that speed. So I'm going to have a little play around with it, but looks really cool. Love all of the branding on it. This is the one from Rotterdam, so obviously we're racing in London, then there is a race in Rotterdam again, so all set up for the Arena Games. Yeah, we'll give it a go, see how we get on. Yeah, because if you go back here, it slows. And as soon as you go up there, it speeds up. It got quite tough, yeah. I think where I've just been swimming, my feet are really soft. So
it'd be 2k, I guess.
Well, it's only 1k at a time, isn't it? So
yeah, the 2 lots of 1k, and then one of them starts on run, so you start with your shoes on.
yeah. So yeah, you've only got 2 1ks without shoes.
They haven't actually said whether
they're going to allow it, I guess. If you have to wear shoes, everyone's got to put them on.
Yeah.
Then you've got to get quick at putting your shoes on.
Yeah.
But if they say you can go without shoes, I definitely would. Because I don't think I'd run much slower, and I'd probably take at least 10 seconds to put my shoes on,
somewhere
if not more. And if you drop your shoe in the pool, then you're game over.
Yeah, so leading into Miami, I obviously knew I had the Super League coming up next. So my training was slightly different for Miami anyway, because it's a shorter distance than a half distance. So it was a bit shorter, required a bit more intensity to my training. So it actually worked quite nicely as a bit of a lead in to the Super League. The week I got home from Miami, I was absolutely exhausted just from the stress of traveling during a pandemic. Took a lot more out of me than anticipated. The jet lag took its toll, and then actually obviously the tiredness from doing a race in itself took its toll. So that first week was kind of a semi trying to recover, but also I need to get some intensity in to get ready for Super League. So it wasn't really much of a recovery week. And then obviously this week leading into the event, I wasn't tapering because I didn't really feel like I'd done enough work to taper. So I pretty much was just doing high intensity all week, hoping that I would still have something left by the weekend, like a little bit of a hash together, but it actually worked out pretty well. The stop-start works quite well because one, I'm able to maybe push a bit harder because I get 10 seconds rest after the 20 seconds running, but also it's getting used to how to accelerate the treadmill quick, which is what I want to do when I get to the run part. So yeah, it's pretty brutal. I'll just grab a drink and then I'll go again. Yeah, it feels very lastminute.com, but exactly what I needed to do for Super League. That was 4 rounds of 8 minutes. So 4 minutes on the bike, 4 minutes on the treadmill. 4 times I did it bike to run the first time, then run to bike, and then bike to run and run to bike. So I could practice those transitions, which was not actually that bad. I don't think I did that badly on that. Need to get a bit better at putting the trainers on, but again on the bike I didn't think it was too bad. And then I did it as 20 seconds max, 10 seconds rest. So basically, not so much on the bike but more on the run, it meant that I could do 4 minutes at the pace or faster than I need to do on Saturday. So just getting used to that faster turnover. And the bike, which is pretty much 20 seconds working, 10 seconds easy spinning, 8 times to make 4 minutes. So just short, high intensity stuff, 32 minutes of max effort, ready for Super League, hopefully. Hopefully those last minute sessions are going to pay off. The duck with ears.
blow my nose. So loud. You blow my nose.
I'll be on Instagram.
I think you will. Very cool.
That was good. Right, that's Holly's. They stuck it and knocked down the whole set. Well, if we go by what happened in Miami, it's quite likely that might happen.
Stop. So, Holly, make sure you get this issue stacked up. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
1, 2, 3. Got it. Done.
Oh wow, in one. Oh look, they've even got SuperLeague bloody lane rope. I mean, that is cool, isn't it?
Why are you doing that?
Because when I was swimming here at the beginning of the week, it was 23.3 degrees. It's now 25.6, so that's warm. Okay, so it's Friday evening, we're at the Familiarization Session. I've had a little go on the bike just to check that's all working. I'm just gonna have a small go on the treadmill just to check how my shoes are feeling, what ones I wanna go with, and then I'm gonna hop in the pool, do a bit of a swim session, yeah, and just get used to the venue. It's looking really cool and I'm excited for tomorrow. So I'm going to go no laces because they are easier to get on. They didn't feel like they moved even though they're a little bit looser than the elastic laces. I'm going to put both shoes in the box in case when they get wet they get loose, but I think they'll be absolutely fine. I mean, it's only a 1k run, it's like 3 and a bit minutes of max, so no laces for the win. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this the lane I'm in?
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. How many lanes are there? 10. So this is 6.
Todo nos separa pero nada nos une. No lo arreglamos aunque tengo autotune. El tiempo lo siento, está perdido. Dale todo lo no correspondido. Vea, que no te tenga a ti. Ya muchos quieren de mí, pero yo las dejo en visto. Obvio que por eso te seguí. Es que me hiciste sentir como si yo fuera Cristo. El cielo está nublado y solo hoy, porque el sol me dijo, baby, ya me voy. Es duro que tú me trates como estoy. Yo por nadie cambiaría lo que soy. El cielo está nublado y solo hoy, porque el sol me dijo, baby, ya me voy. Es duro que tú me trates como estoy. Deja cicatrices. Me quedo
No, I'm not going anywhere further more than that. Like, that's my limit at the end of this bar. I stand that side?
No. Stand behind the bar.
Right, okay, let's just start that one. So we're on basically Tom Daly's home soil, the 10-metre board. I don't think I've ever been up here before, so I wouldn't be so scared, but there's actually no water in the diving pit. The floor's raised, so it made me a bit more nervous because probably if you fall off, that's it. So yeah, very cool location for a quick little impromptu photo shoot, but I'm looking forward to going back down now. Don't know how the divers do it.
Here we go again. You tell me we're just friends. But then you call me feeling sorry for yourself. You want me back and tell me that you need my help. Here we go again. So tell me where your friends at.
So we've been doing the weigh-in this morning. So obviously Zwift uses our weight and height for the bike, mainly for the bike, just to get our watts per kilo. So wanted to make sure I was as light as possible, so I haven't had my breakfast yet, which is why we're here early to do the weigh-in. And now I can go and eat everything because it doesn't matter what I weigh later on. So it should be nice to go and eat. And then what is it? Bike, swim, run. So that's, oh okay, now it all makes sense.
So you're always going to the next thing.
Yeah, well that's cool. I'm just figuring out the order, and it's like it kind of makes sense because you're always going to go in that direction. So having the swim first, I feel the pressure the most because it's like we're starting on the line together. I want to be out first, so that one's the most pressure. Then when it's thrown in the rest,
It's quite nice because you're normally, you can actually finish on your single one for 10.
Friends at. 'Cause you call me feeling sorry for yourself. You want me back and tell me that you need my help. Stay where you're at.
I feel like I must have forgotten something because I've got my run shoes, bike shoes, simple. Obviously don't need a helmet, so there's no helmet taking up any room in the bag. And then most of the other stuff is like spare stuff in case it goes wrong. So I've got 2 hats in case one breaks. I'm going to take 2 pairs of goggles in case one of those breaks. They can go in. I've got my Theragun in case I cramp between rounds, so that will go in one of my transition boxes. I've got my hat in case I make the podium, so I'll shove that on at the end. And obviously my race suit, so feels like not a lot. And then I've got my drinks up there where I've got energy in those, some electrolyte in those. I'll put one on each station drinks wise so they're dotted around the pool. Spare watch, I don't think I'll need that. All important elastic bands and lots of them for each round. Spare SRAM battery there in case we have any failures on the battery side. Energy gels, which I'm definitely not going to need that much, but I'm just going to dot them around the pool in case I feel like I'm bonking, which might happen. So yeah, shoes, kit, all important mask.
just know it's gonna hurt. That's about it, to be honest, but I think because it's so different, I'm just excited, and I know it's gonna be a bit of fun, and just in order to get the order right and do all the things right, I'm just gonna be more thinking about that. Hopefully a bit of a distraction from how much it hurts, but yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, going into the race, I didn't want to put too much expectation or pressure on how I was going to do. I felt quite confident that I could be competitive against these girls, but having never raced them, you can't really judge whether my swim's going to stack up against them, my bike or runs. Yeah, I mean, it's mental. So normally when I prepare for a race, I know it's going to be at least 3 hours. That's the shortest I've raced when I raced in Miami, all the way up to 9 hours of racing. So to be thinking I'm only going to be racing for about 45 minutes, including rest, it's kind of weird to prepare for that, because I'm used to just thinking, right, I need to go all day, whereas this is, I need to go all in for 45 minutes and see what happens. So just a bit of a mind blow, to be honest.
Lucy Charles-Barclay.
Lucy Charles-Barclay over on the right here in the red, incredibly strong. Also another athlete I think that's tipped to do very well here today.
Well, Lucy Charles holds the record for the fastest swim at the Ironman World Championships. That's over 3.8 kilometres. But she's shown that she can do it in the pool as well.
This is a swim-off between the two best swimmers in triathlon.
I was pleasantly surprised after round one, particularly with my swim, because when you went in on that first round, you're starting with the swim. So I wanted to establish my swim in that round, that we're starting fresh and my swim is strong. So I was really happy with that. I was happy to finish third in that first round. As each round went on, I felt a bit better. I was kind of getting the gist of what was going on, where I'm running, what we're doing, putting stuff in the boxes. It's all quite chaotic. So yeah, I definitely didn't anticipate to do as well as I did. I definitely didn't expect to win a round, so when I won that second round, that was really cool. And then yeah, just to come away with second overall was quite a surprise, but also just a nice confidence boost to know I can mix it up in the Arena Games setting with the short course girls. Who knows what that could mean if I decided to go and race in the real world out on the actual roads on that distance. Yeah, I think with this race, transitions are so important, and that wasn't something I practiced. I didn't really feel like I had time to practice that. So just making sure you're putting stuff in the box, getting your shoes on quick, mounting your bike. Obviously it's on a trainer, so it's a bit easier, but you've still got to get your feet in your shoes, do them up, and then get off the bike quick again. And then I found that whilst doing swim, bike and run, I'm pretty competitive, but actually running between them, I was losing time, and I don't know if that's just because I was settling into my long course, that okay, I conserve a bit of energy here and then hit it hard when we do the actual discipline. So definitely a lot of takeaways. If I were to do another one of these events, there's definitely areas where I would go away and work so that I didn't lose time again. One thing I hadn't even considered in my training was that the curved treadmill was going to get wet when we got on it after getting out of the pool, which was pretty much every round. So that treadmill got so slippery when it was wet. So when I'd watched the race in Rotterdam and watched the girls, I was like, I can run that kind of pace. Like, that seems really something I can do. But I hadn't even thought about the fact that the treadmill was going to be wet and slippery, which was going to make it a lot more difficult to run quick. Yeah, so this event was definitely a lot more tactical than what I've normally do on the long course. I definitely played my swim strength in that on the first round, I obviously went hard. I wanted to get the win in that round on the swim part, and then I felt good on the run and had a pretty good bike to get third in that round. On the second round, we started with the run, which I just wanted to have a good run, but I didn't expect to actually be up the front of the field on that. And then when we got on the bike and then we went on to the swim, when we got into that swim, I did not expect to kind of just swim through the field. So once I was at the front, I kind of was like, well, I don't need to push any harder here because I'm going to win this round. So, and I kind of did the same thing in the final round where I've got myself to the front of the race, and it's a toss-up between, do I now go harder to try and establish as much gap as possible on the swim, but then I might not be able to run. So it was kind of weighing that up. So I definitely used the swim to my advantage of going just hard enough to get a lead, but being conservative so that the discipline coming up next, I've got something left. So these are all tactics that maybe next time, if I want to win, I can't hold back at any point. I'm just going to have to go all in from the gun, no holding back. I mean, probably only like 0.5% holding back what I could have done. So, and that may have meant I just died a death on the run. So we just don't know. But yeah, really, really fun to have a first little dip my toe in on the short course, and excited to see if I get another opportunity to do that, because like I said, I really enjoyed it, and that was the main thing for me. If I enjoy something, I'll go all in and see how I get on.
Can she run down Lucy
She needs
Charles?
to run it down, and this is going to be...
Transition all important.
And Lucy Charles has been tardy in transition all race.
And she will win the SuperLeague Triathlon Arena Games in London. Congratulations to Beth Potter.
Oh my god, it was actually so much fun now it's finished, but it was absolutely brutal. Like, the first round I felt pretty good. I was like kind of just getting into my groove, and then the second round I felt really strong and just knew I just needed to do enough on that swim so I didn't burn too much for the final round. And then I had a feeling the final round would come down to the run, and I know Beth Potter's such a strong runner, so it was just about hanging on. The treadmills were so slippery when they were wet, so it was so hard to actually get up to speed without thinking you're going to fall off the back. So pretty happy with that though for my first short course experience. Definitely a lung burner. My lungs are absolutely killing me now. You never get that feeling in an Ironman, so yeah, nice surprise, but really chuffed with that, and not bad for a first go. My main thing where I was putting the pressure on myself was definitely the swim. I knew I needed to cement that I am a dominant swimmer in triathlon, long, middle or short course. I want to be that best swimmer, so I felt like I cemented that in this particular group of girls, so pretty happy with that. And yeah, it's nice to know I can mix it up with them in this kind of setting. It might be a whole different ball game when we take it outside and there's a lot more technical parts to it, but yeah, dead chuffed with that. That felt long for 1k of running as well.
Didn't it? I was thinking, counting it down.
I think because it didn't give you any distance to begin with, you're like, is this counting? Am I doing
better
it?
be counting towards my game.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the event. I mean, going in, there was little pressure. I always put a bit of pressure on myself because I always want to do well. I always want to throw myself in the deep end and be competitive, even if I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. So absolutely loved it. It was way more fun than I anticipated. Like, I knew it was going to be fun, but even though it's brutal, you're hurting, you're all side by side, it's like proper head to head. It kind of reminded me a little bit of my swimming days where you're all lined up and there's no escaping that you're all in a battle. So absolutely loved that. Definitely when it was over, I loved it even more because it was like, wow, that was so quick. It's over in 45 minutes. I've smashed that, had a good result, and now I can just go home and celebrate getting a silver medal at an Arena Games. So yeah, not a bad weekend. Okay, thanks for watching. That has been my SuperLeague Arena Games experience with behind the scenes, suffering, tons of fun. So hope you enjoyed it, and comment below if you'd love to see me doing some more short course racing in the future.